Church of Uganda at 150. Welcome. My name is Christopher Amos Chikomeko Ntambi, a born-again Christian of the Anglican Communion in the Republic of Uganda. Our church is called the Church of Uganda. Something happened very strange on the 8th of October in the year 2020. Our country had been in a lockdown, and shortly after the lockdown and the movement being allowed again, I celebrated my birthday on the 8th of October 2020, and I decided to go on top of the mountain, Seguku, on Entebbe Road. At around 11:45 a.m. in the morning, while in repentance, I remember I was holding my Psalm 32, and I was in inner repentance when I heard a voice. The voice was very clear. Of course, the voice was in my mother tongue, and it was giving instructions. It said, Chikomeko, ekkanisa egenda okuweza emyaka 15. Naye abantu tebakimanyi. Abakulembeze mu kkanisa beebase ku nsonga eno. Genda okole okumanyisibwa kwa bonna nti ekkanisa ekuze egenda kuweza emyaka 15. And that was the end of the voice. What was it saying? The church in Uganda, the Anglican Communion, is becoming 150 years soon, but the church leaders are not aware. So go and make awareness to everybody that the church has grown and is becoming 150 years soon. Of course, I looked around. There was definitely nobody speaking to me. I wondered why, and it was very clear to me I'm on a prayer mountain, and therefore if a voice when nobody was around me must only have come from God. The 8th of October 2020 at 11:45 a.m. I was repenting in Psalm 32, and as I continued reading the psalm in my inner mind, this voice came. There was nobody near me. Maybe even if there was anybody near me, it was not necessarily that he would have had the same voice as I, but the voice was loud and clear. It was the first time that such a voice on anything had ever spoke to me that way, with clear instructions. And somebody saying, my church. My church. The church is the church of Jesus Christ, the church of God. So my church, that disturbed me. Believe me, it was my birthday, but I could not continue my presence on the prayer mountain. I had to leave. Because I was wondering, I don't have a radio, I don't have a newspaper, I don't have a television. Who am I to make awareness that the church is 150 years? Come on. For me to make awareness, I'm not even a priest, an ordained priest. I'm a mere lay evangelist, so I don't have a church as a platform. However, I obeyed the voice, because the following day, I reasoned that the voice that spoke to me, if it was indeed God, knew that I don't have a radio, I don't have a TV, I don't have a newspaper, I'm not a priest, that I have a church. All I do is to do evangelical work as a lay evangelist. So I decided that since I was on WhatsApp platform of different groups, that's where I'll start. So the following day, on the 9th of October, I began my very first sequel. And I said it was sequel number 2455 because 2,455 days were remaining on that day before the 30th of June of 2027, which will be the actual 150th anniversary of the Church of Uganda. So my first sequel was on the 9th of October, and it was number 2455. In that sequel, which now I have decided to do in an audio form, has been running on a daily basis. Of course, there are some jumps here and there, but basically on a daily basis from then to date. So that means on the 8th of October 2021, that program clocked 1 year, or those sequels clocked 1 year. Then last year on the 8th of October 2022, it clocked its second anniversary. So now these sequels on the platforms that I post have been going on for the last 2 years. And now I've decided to start from square one as audio so that I capture a bigger audience. Yes, I reason that I don't have a radio, I don't have a TV, but there is YouTube. It now means I can reach a global audience. That is why we are inaugurating Church of Uganda at 150 in daily sequels on YouTube. Once again, my name is Christopher Amos Chikomeko Ntambi, a born-again Christian who worships from the Anglican Communion. And therefore today, with that simple background, I want to define the word sesquicentennial, and I will spell it SEQUENNIAL. Sesquicentennial. That is the 150th anniversary. Just like 25 years is Silver Jubilee, just like 50 years is Jubilee, just like 100 years is Centenary, 150 is the sesquicentennial. So the sesquicentennial of the Church of Uganda will be on the 30th of June 2027. That is slightly higher than 4 years to go. Brethren, wherever you are in the world, these sequels will be historical. They show the journey of the Church of Uganda from its inception, from those who brought and taught it to those who lit the fire, and how the fire spread, the challenges, and all of this in its historical form, with the pictures that will be available to give us a view of what it could have looked like. And we're going to enjoy all that on a daily basis. What I'll do on each and every sequel, there will be a theme or a topic, and in about 10 to 13 minutes the video will be over. I want to keep them as short as that to enable people, even those with minimal data, to be able to open these YouTube videos celebrating our sesquicentennial of the native Anglican Church of Uganda, 1877 to 2027. And therefore, today, I want to begin with a very, very important day. This was a day in the year 1875, when the Kabaka of Buganda, then Walugembe Mutesa the first, received a very important visitor, a European explorer, and his name was Henry Morton Stanley. He was not the first European to visit the palace. Earlier in 1862, John Speke, Grant, and others had visited earlier. As a matter of fact, when Henry arrived at the palace, he found another Muzungu there, an ambassador from Emin Pasha of southern Sudan. And therefore, he was not a stranger to the king, and the king received him, and it was that initial meeting that resulted in the king writing a letter for advertisement in the British in the British press, which later he gave to him, asking that teachers come to Buganda so that those teachers will teach his people, and that his people will see the light and do things better in a more advanced way. We shall go deeper into that later because it's a very interesting letter, but not today. Today, we just want to concentrate on the visitor, Henry Morton Stanley, a visitor who is an explorer, most likely from the Geographical Society of the world, and is it at a palace to see Mutesa. And Mutesa cannot pronounce the name Stanley, so Mutesa calls him Stanley, of course with his deep voice. Stanley, he could speak Swahili. Stanley could also mimic some Swahili, so they could exchange. So the king called Stanley Stanley, and of course Stanley was pleased that here was a powerful African king who was able to engage him, who was able to ask him for teachers. And so Stanley got a pen and a paper and began to write the advertisement, or the words that would fit a suitable advertisement in the British newspapers, and of course in the papers across the Atlantic Ocean. They will spread the news that here is an African king who is interested in knowing the ways of civilization, who wants to know God, who wants to know Christianity, that his people be taught Christianity, and that he had a passion for the gospel. And of course, all these were to come out in that later, as we shall indeed see tomorrow in our second sequel. So today was the first sequel. Tomorrow we shall see the second sequel. And with these pictorials, please enjoy the inauguration of Church of Uganda at 50 with Christopher Amos Chikomeko Ntambi. May God bless you.